Okay, two great stories. One, first of all, I'll tell you about my drug deal. Thursday night. It's a Thursday. It's 3 a.m. I'm driving late on Thursday because here ASU is they have classes Monday through Thursday, and so the Monday Wednesday class and a Tuesday Thursday class. So they don't have classes on Friday usually. And so that means that they get their weekend started on Thursday. So they all start drinking and partying. So I went down to downtown to get them um, set up, hoping that I could get a lot of drunk people. And at 3 in the morning, I get called. I don't know where I'm at in Phoenix, but I'm not in like the rich area. I knew that, but I didn't realize I was in a seedy area. But I went to pick up this lady, and she gets in my car and she starts talking about her man. She tells me all about her sex life, that whatever. I'm like, what? Anyway, so then she starts talking to me about her, what else? Oh, she's 66. And I'm like, what are you doing up at 3 in the morning? No response. Literally dead silence from the back seat. And I'm like, well, never mind. Doesn't matter to me what you're doing at 3 in the morning. I'll get you there safely. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So then she's like, so I get over, we have two stops. We're going to go to her cousin's and then go back. And at her cousin's house, she goes to pick up her cousin. Turns out it's one of her best friends. She just calls her a cousin, and they get there and they both want to go somewhere else. And we go there, and they didn't have enough, like the app didn't let them update the place, so they gave me $10 in cash to go extra distance, and which was fine. That was about right. And so then she gets out. She and her cousin get out and they go into this house, and I'm sitting out there and just waiting in the street in my little white car. And then she climbs back in, and there's a car parked down the street facing us. And she goes, oh my gosh, I think there's a cop. I'm like, oh, it's all right. Cops don't see me. We'll be all right. And she goes, no. No, no, yeah. We're here picking my cousin up. That's why we're here. And that you picked me up, we're picking my cousin up, we're taking her home. And that's it. And I'm like, what? And she tells me again. And I'm like, all right. I'm thinking inside, I'm not going to lie for you if this is illegal. I'm like, what? I'm like, all of a sudden I was feeling like sketchy, but I wasn't feeling too sketchy before. I mean, a little bit. I did wonder if 3 in the morning if she was getting drugs, but she didn't seem like she was using drugs, so, or was high. But anyway, so she gets I'm like, okay, well, I will just not lie to a cop. And she's like, no, we'll tell him that, that's my cousin here, and I picked her up, and so we're just going back. And I'm like, it's not going to be a cop. It's all right. And she's like, no. And so then I started to move, and she's like, oh my gosh. As soon as I started to move, the other car started to move too. So she's like, it's a cop. I know it's a cop because they didn't move till you moved. And I'm like, what? So anyway, the SUV drives past us, and it's not a cop as far as I could tell. I guess it might have been a plainclothes cop, but it was like a big Suburban, not like a little Jimmy type of SUV like the cops usually drive, the smaller ones. So anyway, it might have been a plain unmarked one, but I don't think so. Anyway, so I get her back. She wouldn't even let me take her cousin into the apartment complex. She made me drop her off on the road. She's like, no, it's all right. She'll get out. She'll walk. She'll jump the fence. And I'm like, we just went into the apartment complex to pick her up. I would feel better if I dropped her off in the complex. She goes, no, 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 she's fine, she's fine, she's fine. And I'm like, that's weird. Anyway, I get her back and drop her back off at the whole time. I'm like, the whole last half, I'm like, I just did a drug deal. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I totally just did a drug deal. I'm going to jail for the rest of my life because this lady, I have no idea who she is, and I had no idea what I was doing. I'm just this sweet little innocent suburban mom. Drugs. Anyway, I have no idea what she bought. I'm terrified to know. Terrified to think about it. So, the first thing we did before we went to pick up the cousin, we stopped at the Circle K to get cash. And so, at the ATM. Anyway, I'm like, yep. The further I got, the more I knew. And I'm pretty sure. Now I'm almost certain. Looking back, I'm like, yeah, that was probably sketchy. That was definitely sketchy. Anyway, drug deal. Anyway, so the other thing I went to pick up a young man. He's probably maybe an old teenager, like 18, 19, at a gas station. And as I was pulling out of the gas station, right straight across the street, right in front of me, was a store that said marijuana doctor. I'm like, I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know they were trying to legalize it in Phoenix at all. And I'm like, oh, marijuana doctor. Oh my gosh. And I tell the guy in the back, just like randomly, just in mom mode, don't you ever do drugs. That is such, just don't ever do drugs. It's a terrible idea. It's the worst thing you could do. And he goes, why is that? I was like, what? What do you mean, why is that? I'm looking back at him in the mirror. I'm like, what do you mean, why is that? Because drugs are bad. He was like, why are drugs bad? I'm like, because they fry your brain and they make you lose initiative and they make people lazy and they literally kill brain cells every single time you do it. Brain cells die, and and if you become addicted, you give away your free will and you will have no choice except to use drugs more, and it becomes a very bad thing. And he goes, actually, it's been proven that drugs are an enhancer, and so whatever you are, whatever type of person you are, it will enhance that. So if you're a go-getter and a person who does good things and like works hard, it'll make you work even harder. My mind was blown. He goes, and if you're lazy, it'll make you lazier. And I looked at him and I'm like, I am really sorry. I can't believe that you believe all that crap. Whoever told you that is lying. Those are lies, complete lies. I have no idea why in a million years they would tell you that is the truth. I don't even understand that. I can't believe they lied to you. I can't believe you fell for it. I can't believe you believe that. And then I said, I'm really sorry that you believe that. Because honestly, it is 100% proven. Tests prove inhaled drugs or alcohol, brain cells literally die. They have like brain maps of people using drugs while they're doing it. And it shows the death of brain cells. There is no way. And yes, drugs are an enhancer, but they are a mood enhancer, not a personality enhancer. So if you're angry, you get angrier. If you're sad, you get sadder. If you're happy, you feel happier for a while. But you don't change your personality type. It'll make you lazy as heck because it takes away your initiative, because it's because you are unmotivated when you do it by killing those brain cells. Anyway, I was thrown off so much that he would be, why? He asked me why do you think drugs are bad? It's like he'd never heard it before. And he really believed those things. And then he goes, I said, I'm sorry that I'm so heavy on this talk. And usually when I'm driving, I'm super lighthearted and funny and fun. I was just really taken aback when I pulled out of the parking lot and saw Marijuana Doctor. just surprised me. So I'm sorry about that. And he goes, well, actually, that doctor is for people who have cancer and they have pain that they can't manage. And so that's why they take medical marijuana. And I'm like, oh, you believe that too? How many siblings do you have? It's literally how that call went, that drive went. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Had to change the subject and move on because he really listened to the wrong people. Anyway, I love you. We'll see you guys.